missed you. Two, it's totally fine because last minute there was a lot of last minute changes. Obviously, I mean it's it is still a challenging time, and traveling and everything is not straightforward. I'm going to Puerto Rico to see the boys though, so I'm going for a week. I'm super pumped.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, come out.
Eventually, yeah. I haven't been to Puerto Rico since I was a teenager.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. Well, dokily. Well, I'm gonna count down. Three. I'll say 3, 2, 1, and then I'll start. And then until what time do you have?
I can go for at least a half hour.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so we can go. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So we have. I had one interview. It was like 1-to-1. So I had to cut poor Rick Tomlinson off and let him go. So I do not need to cut you off and let you go. You look good,
Yeah.
man.
What was that?
I said you look good,
Thank you.
and I miss you.
Hold on, let me just text my house to stay off the internet if they can.
Okay. Hey, house, stay away from the internet.
Just turn off all your smartphone features.
It's funny when they say like,
It's the best internet in Beverly Hills, and let me tell you, it's not good enough.
not
Oh
good.
shit, let me plug in my computer before that becomes an issue. 1 second. Hey, there,
So every now and then I look at the camera, right? I have been, but when I look away from them, they see it, so only briefly. But I think that's fine, right?
It looks good.
It looks great, yeah. And I guess I'm talking to them, that's also like it's a good angle from the side to have, right?
Yes. Profile.
Mm-hmm.
And boom. Angle, background.
Oh wow, what? Show me.
That's pretty cool, right?
Every click make another face.
Yo, that's how they do it, right?
They do, huh?
Voguing, that's what voguing's all about.
What is it called?
And then voguing,
Voguing.
like the dance craze Vogue, like the magazine Vogue, like.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah. I worked as a model when I was like,
I did too for a little bit
Yeah.
in my 20s.
and it's all about changing. It's fun-ish.
It can be.
It can be.
alright, just plugging in. There we go. Alright, I'm ready to roll.
Oh, all right. Well, 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Jeremy. It's such a pleasure to see you again. As always, it's amazing to see you. And through years, it's just been so great to watch you grow and build and develop and mature. And I appreciate that you support Ara, and thank you so much for being virtual speaker. I know that I know you tried to make it, but you couldn't, and rightfully so. One, you're so busy. I mean, launching a company, a product company, is very expensive and on time, right? And it's so much financial challenge and also time-wise challenge associated with that. So, but we missed you, and thank you for being here now and supporting us and sharing what you care about. Ara's goal was really gather up and integrate and co-create. And you're one of people who does integration and co-creation. You take different worlds, you connect things to each other, and you always see opportunity in places to where maybe people think that that you maybe wouldn't. You see opportunities with others don't, and so I really appreciate that. In April, we're gathering again at RSO. I hope that you can make it. If not, we'll love to have you virtual. But I trust that you want to gather up and hang out with us in the camping with excitement. So, Jeremy, I want to talk to you about your journey right now. And right now, you are in a position to where you now have founded skincare company for men, but you also didn't just find it, you are shipping the product. And I mean, that's a huge step. We talked only a couple months ago, and you guys were pre-shipping, and you're shipping now. So I'd love to know more about that transition of what is different in your world now that you're actually shipping.
I'd say it's very similar to my experience as an entrepreneur in the crypto space. When you go out, you have this idea and you're telling everyone about it, and you're building up the foundation, and then there's that moment when all of a sudden you're live, you're launched, and in this case, you're shipping, everything changes. And for the most part, unless you didn't build a good infrastructure, things get bad. It doesn't mean it's easier, but you suddenly have really attainable metrics you can start creating for yourself, real actionable goals you can work towards, and it is when an entrepreneur really shows his colors, or her. It is an opportunity to really see what your company is made of. And so building a company like Made Man, which is totally unrelated to anything I've done before, and getting it into the hands of people and having them experience what I've created has been so rewarding. That being said, it's incredibly tough. We're going against companies and competing brands that have 1,000x larger marketing budgets. We're purely direct to consumer and e-commerce, and there's only so much advertising space available on Instagram or Facebook or Google. And so it's a new set of challenges, but having overcome the challenge of actually getting the company ready for launch, it's a good feeling. And now that we have the feedback of our customers who are using the product and love it, now we know all that we need to do is make other people aware of this product so more of them can enjoy it. But the feedback's been exceptional and the experience has been fun, and I'm really looking forward to what 2021 brings.
Absolutely. I can tell you look more relaxed and more empowered, and I can you can tell in your presence that things are going well and that you are happy. And I think that that's so important, is that you were able to completely change your industry and go against many biases and succeed to a point to where you are right now and really embrace it. And it's making you look good, I must say. Made Man looks good on you, Jeremy. So keep on going with that.
It's funny that you say that. I actually, just an hour ago, I did a follow-up interview with ABC for Nightline, where I had a feature back in 2018 at the peak of the bull market in crypto. And and I had watched my original episode prior to doing the interview, and just looking at myself then, that interview had actually very much inspired me to start taking care of my skin, because my skin had looked so terrible on, one of the most watched nightly news segments in America. And so going back on it and having the confidence that skincare has brought me, and obviously that the crypto rally brings to anyone that's a holder, was definitely enjoyable, and I'm glad you see it on this call as well.
Yes, absolutely. And even the transition, it's amazing that when we do what we really love and empower to, it kind of shows through who we are. Though we do love crypto, and I all I want to talk about is about what you're doing right now, but you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm doing crypto right
Yeah,
now.
right. So tell me more about what you're doing in the crypto world now, and how
Yeah.
is the growth cycle affecting you and all that.
So I'm really lucky in that the the investment period for making new equity investments for Awesome Ventures, my hybrid venture hedge fund, is almost closed. I think we have 1 month or 2 months left until we stop making venture investments, and it's good timing because our companies that are doing well are doing really well, but we also have a hedge fund component to our business, and that really allows us to focus on the macro, focus on the crypto assets that we want to hold for the long run. There are 4 years left in the life of the fund, and we want to maximize our returns for investors while also only investing in assets that we genuinely believe will make the world better. And so it's been fun in the past few weeks, although slightly stressful, to go back into the hornet's nest of crypto assets and evaluate which of these cryptos actually are good technologies, really going to do something to change the world. And so I've been doing that while running my company. It's been hectic, but much more prepared this time than my first couple bull markets.
Absolutely. Well, and there's so much more infrastructure now, right? I mean, you have matured with the industry. I think that.
Well, that's where I disagree. One of the reasons why I say I started this new venture that's totally orthogonal to crypto is the fact that I believe the industry matured faster than I did, and I realized that I wasn't the best ambassador or spokesperson for crypto any longer, because the reality was that there were very accomplished, very credible people from positions such as Congress and the SEC, big banks, all talking about this technology in a positive light. I didn't need to do that anymore. So it's been an evolution for me, coming to terms with that. But as I said, I just did a follow-up to the ABC Nightline interview, and I try to do what I can for the industry as what I call a former ambassador to the technology.
I think you're always going to be an ambassador, because I think that it's also something that is just such a big part of who you are, right? Maybe not as actively as you did before, but we won't let you go so easy, Jeremy.
But look, most of my wealth is in crypto, and I believe blockchain technology is going to be such an instrumental part of our future. I'm going to continue playing the role where I can, but I don't feel compelled to have this outsized role that perhaps I did in the past. I can be a more passive player and participate when I feel it's appropriate.
Yeah, absolutely. And thrive and learn something else. I mean, it really is great what you're doing. I think that there's this almost a taboo to where something to do with men's looks, like you're supposed to almost like not care how you look, but it's absurd. It's completely absurd. Me as a woman, I do not like that. I want to look at the world of men who take care of their skin. They love themselves. They care for themselves. They ritualize that.
Yeah, and for us, it's really not. It's not about how you look. It's
Okay.
about how you feel about yourself. If you're waking up every other day and you have dry skin
Mm.
or oily skin or you have acne, you don't feel good about yourself. And then men feel compelled to assert their masculinity in other ways, which can be really damaging. And you see that all the way up to the Oval Office and beyond. It's just, this false sense of what it means to be a man can be really damaging to the psyche.
It is. It has been. And so I really appreciate that you're taking steps and you're empowering and you're changing that, because it doesn't serve the bias that's there. That false masculinity does not serve anybody. It doesn't serve men. It also doesn't serve women either. Like I said, from my perspective, it's just really nice because women are expected to take care of themselves, and then men supposed to be less than if they do. It's just, especially with the skincare, and it's so pleasant to see a person who really care about themselves. It shows. I think it gives confidence. It's that, I think it's a core of self-love to really treat your body and be kind to yourself. And you're doing such an excellent job. And also, I think it's so great that you kind of you have this ability to be able to really represent what you're doing, and be the almost, through you, I think your brain speaks. It really, when I think about Made Man, I do think about you, Jeremy. And as you said, that journey for you to where you saw yourself last year, and now you did that for yourself through that care, and that's amazing.
Well, that was the purpose of Made Man. It was part of my own journey to really redefine what it meant to be a man, and part of my own process of discovery. And so, for me, I would not call myself the quintessential made man, but I think my process of trying to figuring out how to become one, is very reflective of the purpose of the company. And a lot of the things we're about to announce, I haven't spoken about any of this publicly, but we're about to announce a made man manual where we're going to take wisdom, advice, lessons learned for men all around the world and put it all into a book or an ebook or
Yeah.
and a newsletter, Twitter feed, just sharing the sorts of things that men wish they knew younger or learned when they were younger. Just important, valuable information. And then also, we're going to create a Made Men podcast where we talk to made men, from professional athletes to venture capitalists to politicians, and talking to them, but not about their successes, but more about their failures, those formative experiences that made them who they are. And personally, I've only ever grown from my failures, not from my successes. So I think that will be a very interesting way to continue to cultivate this discussion about masculinity.
Absolutely. Have you considered maybe writing a book?
So I actually have a manuscript for a book. I've got a literary agent. Frankly, it doesn't feel like the right time for white privileged male that got rich on Bitcoin to be releasing a book right now. It's just it's not the right moment in the zeitgeist for that to happen. I've got something written out. Gonna work on it. My co-author that's helped me with it, he's spending 3 months in Costa Rica finishing it up. There's actually, I'm much less involved in this, but there's actually a screenplay being written about my life right now, and so it's funny. All I want is to impart the hard lessons that I've learned to other men, young and sometimes old, and add value to their lives and help them make them better people that contribute more to whatever they're a part of, whether it's their family, their job, society. It's this just, it's all part of this abstract sense of purpose that I have.
You do, and thank you for doing that. It's empowering and it's encouraging, and you consistently have been doing that and growing with that. I want to go back to blockchain. You said that you guys have been active with your venture and evaluating and kind of looking back at, what are those blockchains that are companies or cryptocurrencies that are doing well. So in your personal opinion, what are the top three kind of companies who are actually providing value and doing something that you think is good?
Yeah, I can totally do that. So we just invested in one company. It's called the Giving Block. They are an enterprise payment processing solution for nonprofits. They're allowing some of the largest nonprofits in the world to now accept cryptocurrency donations. That's just massive. For crypto people, it makes no sense for you to sell your crypto into dollars and then donate because then you have to pay the capital gains on your sale. So the Giving Block makes it so you can donate your crypto directly, and you don't have to pay for the gains that you've made on the crypto that you're donating. So that's awesome. It just incentivizes wealthy crypto holders to go and do good. Another is Proof of Impact. They are an impact marketplace. So what they have is pretty much a fully regulated legal security token exchange for impact investments. So let's say someone wants to go and create a solar farm in Ghana. What you can do with Proof of Impact is go and make an investment in that solar market, in that solar installation, and get a portion of the tokens issued by the solar farm. And if the solar farm does well and it's generating revenue, you can go and sell those tokens at a higher price because they're like shares almost. And what's cool is that you still get all the tax benefits and write-offs associated with social impact investments, but you can also really make it economically feasible for people to make investments like that in a way that previously hasn't been possible. And then perhaps lastly, one of the blockchains I'm really excited about just launched is Filecoin. And a big announcement that was made is that the Internet Archive, which stores caches of all these web pages that have since gone down or been deleted, and is a living history book of the web. They're going to start backing up all of their files on IPFS and Filecoin, which is huge because their server costs were just too much. Their storage costs were too much to have everything backed up locally. And so using Filecoin has enabled us to have access to this treasure trove of online web pages that have been taken down in the past.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. I was taking notes on the bottom, so I'm going to check it out and see it. It sounds great. I really appreciate that you guys are doing impact. I mean, I feel like everything you do is really centered around how you can make a difference. And Jeremy, That's how I've always known you, and I think that that core of who you are has just bloomed more and more and more and manifested itself in what you're doing. It's going to be so interesting to see what you're doing in 5, 10, 25 years. So what do you think is your favorite innovation right now that you kind of looking at that interests you and tickles your attention of something that captures maybe some aspect of you that is not blockchain.
Sure. Probably the most interesting concept that I've been investing in heavily, both personally and through the biotech firm I'm invested in, is synthetic meat. It's or synthetic isn't the right term. It's pretty much lab grown meat.
Yeah.
So you take the stem cells of any meat that you normally eat, whether it's the fish or whether it's bovine, it doesn't matter. And what you do is you can wrap proteins around it and pretty much recreate a chicken tender or a steak or a bluefin tuna and have the exact same flavor profile, exact same texture, although that's really hard to recreate, and that's what they're figuring out now. But at a molecular level, at a DNA level, it's exactly the same, and it's not veganism because you're actually using a drop of blood from the animal. But it allows someone like me who doesn't want to see animals unnecessarily slaughtered be able to eat meat ethically. And I think that's just so exciting. And as the world gets wealthier and there's a growing global middle class with an appetite for meat, it's so necessary that we find alternatives to raising cattle and slaughtering animals. And I think this is our best hope.
Yeah, it's interesting. It really is fascinating that our science is able to do that. I also think about that solution for when we are in space because our ability to get those proteins and be able to sustain ourselves, I think, will be very very key aspect of a space exploration and maybe
Yeah,
even
that's a bit
settlement.
further away. That's a bit further away, but 3D printing food with a little cube, like a microwave that actually just builds your food. That is something if we live long enough will definitely happen.
Yes. Well, I believe we will because we are taking care of ourselves and we're making healthier choices and better choices for our lives. I think that a lot of people are thinking about how their health reacts to things and they starting to care more about what they eat and they understand the importance of working out. And Jeremy, you're like what, 30? You're gonna live to see that, okay?
Hey.
Just saying.
I'm 28 years old. I'm 29 in a couple of weeks.
Okay, fine. Okay, don't 30 me. Okay, fine.
I'm not officially an adult yet. I've got a year.
Oh goodness, yes. And do you have something very fun planned for your birthday?
No, so I always have fun. For my birthdays, I actually try to be very introspective, spend time alone, do the opposite of what I always do, which is having fun, and really use it as a time to reflect. May do a very kind of meditative psychedelic experience, not sure just yet, but the plan is to use it as a moment to meditate on my life, where I've been, where I'm going, where I am right now. But fun is not on the agenda, although my birthday's on a Friday, so maybe Saturday I'll do something. But my birthday itself is always a time for, self-reflection.
Interesting. That's a great. I'm echoing. Oh goodness, 1 second. Hold on. Check. Okay, I'm good. I'm echoing. I'm so sorry. I think it's done. Yeah, I think my echoing is now done. It was giving me anyway, the speakers and the feedback. But I really, really appreciate you sharing this aspect of celebrating birthday. I'm going to borrow that from you and celebrate one of my birthdays that way.
Well, full disclaimer, I think most people should have a party and celebrate and be with friends on their birthday, especially given the pandemic. Socially distanced, of course. But for me, I haven't had your traditional pandemic experience. I've had my crypto castles, this made mansion. Like I'm always surrounded by friends, always around people. And even before the pandemic, I've always been one to have a lot of fun and to party a lot. And so my experience is a bit unique in that, I don't need to have a reason to go celebrate or party. I see every day as a reason to have fun. So some people I really think, celebrating your birthday is totally something you should do. But for me personally, it's just not what I need on that day that it's for you.
Yeah.
What I need on that day is introspection.
Yes, introspection. Well, so you live in Los Angeles now, right? You moved from Miami.
Unbelievably, I am in Beverly Hills, 90210. A place I never thought I would call my home, but here I am.
There you are. And so how do you manage? Do you have a gym at your house? How do you manage staying in shape during the lockdowns? Because I know that things are a little bit more challenging in LA than maybe for example, in Austin, Texas, when it comes
You're
to.
putting me on the spot. We have a bit of a gym in the back. It's a big house, but and we have a pool. But no, I mean, I used to get most of my exercise just from running around, going out dancing. I was a big nightclub guy, especially when I was living in Miami. And dancing, you can do it, but it's not what I've been used to, and maintaining my health has probably been one of the greater challenges of the pandemic. The social component hasn't really been an issue, and work hasn't been an issue, but physical health has definitely been challenging, and so. Yeah, I mean, I try to go. I just got a puppy 2 days ago, so he's forcing me to go out, go for walks. I'm gonna take him on a lot of hikes. I got a car, which makes it easier to go hiking.
Yeah.
But it's tough. Like I hate the gym. Like in LA, most gyms are closed. There's like a speakeasy gym that a couple of my employees go to, but I'm not a gym guy. So I'm still in the process of figuring that out. But I started going for runs, even though I'm not a big fan of running, and doing what I can, lifting weights, whatever it takes. But it's definitely one of the, that was one of my New Year's resolutions, was really to focus on my physical health more.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of puppy?
I got a Shiba Inu.
Aww.
He's adorable.
I want to see you. You don't. I think you just should. Puppies always belong in every interview, Jeremy, because it's.
Yeah. So the issue is I adore him, I love him, but he loves attention. He's super social, which is great. But if he saw me doing this and there was no one else in the room, he would start like yelping at it.
Okay.
And he'd start chewing or biting cords, and I put his well-being before his adorableness for the masses.
Okay, can you do me a huge favor? Can you take a selfie with your puppy and post it on Facebook, or just send it to me? I want to see.
He has his own Instagram. It's Garbanzo Gardner.
Garbanzo Gardner.
Bonzo Gardner.
Bonzo Gardner.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. He got your last name, of course. Yes. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for spending your time and sharing your time again. I've been enjoying the fact that technology allows us to stay connected. We've had several conversations already through this through this season of staying put in our places and instead of seeing each other in a crypto conferences somewhere in the world. So thank you. I really appreciate it, and I hope that in April you can join us with our. If not, there's always virtual. Of course, we love you, and there will be plenty of times always where we will all regather together again. So
Yeah, I'm very optimistic. Things are looking good for this summer. I'm looking to reconnect with everyone. We'll totally try to make the event, and we will connect soon.
absolutely. Well, and Jeremy, right now is the time for you to really concentrate on your product. Shipping product is very hard. Having the material things that need to get into people's hands physically is an extra challenge, and you since you just launched, I think that I want to see you thrive, and I want to see Made Man become a global brand that empowers, that really redefines the masculinity, and to me there's nobody better to do that than you. So please concentrate on doing that, and we'll see each other when we see each other. And happy new year, and I hope that this year is most productive for you, and that all the intentions that you set for yourself to are materialize and exceed the expectations. And so thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Absolutely. I'll speak to you soon. It was a pleasure.